welcome to Board Games with Ambas. Now I'm just doing a spontaneous live stream here because I want to talk about Gaia Project. Gaia Project is a really cool game, and it's really new, so I thought let's go through a bit. In Gaia Project, the factions, the research board, the scoring tiles, and so on. And let's just see if anyone joins in. If they do, then of course you can have questions and so on. But I'll just get started. If you watch this afterwards, then feel free to ask me anything in the comments. If you have any questions about Gaia Project, about Terra Mystica as well, about how the game works or the rules or anything, you can just ask me. I'll just try to answer as best as I can. Because I am going to talk a bit about Terra Mystica as well, because this Gaia Project game is based a lot on Terra Mystica. So during this live stream here, I think we will do this for 20-30 minutes or so. We'll go through pretty much everything in the game, so you know everything that you need to play the game and so on. And also we'll talk a bit about what differences is there from Terra Mystica, what's new and so on. How is it better, what is possibly worse, and so on. Maybe there's something that you missed from Terra Mystica, maybe there's something that you still would like to have in the game that didn't bring into Gaia Project. So tell me in the chat or in the comments, depending on when you watch this, and let's go through this together, and we'll see how it ends up. So I thought to start off, let's talk about the factions. So I don't have the actual rule book. Well, I have it, but I don't understand it because it's in German. So I printed out the English rule book. That's why it looks like this. This is not what you get with the game. And let's talk through these different factions. So let's start off over here with the Terraner, which is sort of humans, I guess, thematically. And so let's see, they will start one step up on the track over here, whatever it's called, but the track that lets you send out your Gaia former ships to Gaia form the transdimensional, I don't know, something like that, planets, the purple ones. So they start up here. I hope you can see the laser marker there. And so that's a good thing. They can start off right away doing that, which the other factions can't. They have to move up there. So that's one of the special abilities, of course, the special things. They start with a cube, which most factions do, I believe. Knowledge income, start off, and so on. Once they build their what's it called? The Planetary Institute. It's the new stronghold. It's I have just as an example here. This big guy here. Once they build it, then they can they will generate 4 power rotation at the start of the turn. Also get a new power token. You always get to choose in which order you do this, which is really good because it can really depend on how you want things going up here. Also, their special ability once they build their Planetary Institute is that when you send out a ship, you have these little ships that you gain from, if you are on the track there, the purple track. You gain one of these, you have them here in your base. Then when you send them out, you're going to send them out, let me show you over here. You're going to send them to these purple planets, which has a really funky name, transdimensional something. And once they are there, the first thing that happens in every turn now is that we're going to have the Gaia phase. And in the Gaia phase, this planet here, that I can't really pronounce the name of, the purple planet anyway, will be terraformed into a Gaia planet. And once it's a Gaia planet, anyone can build on it. And the nice thing is also when you have your ship here, then you are already set up. Now normally to build on a Gaia planet, a green planet, you need to pay a cube to be able to build there. But if you already have a ship there, then you're set. You don't need to pay the cube, so it's a good way as well. Also, the thing here is that you're going to do this action, depending on where you are on this on the technology track. At the first step here, and all the way up. Let's see, where is it? All the way up there. There it's going to be cheaper. But for these steps, when you're at that step there, it's going to cost you 6 power to send out your ship. And the way it costs you is basically you don't lose it, but it goes to your Gaia zone over here. Now all the factions have Gaia zones. Everyone can do this, but most of them, or I think everyone except for Terraner, have the arrow pointing down here to the third bucket or first bowl there. But the Terraner has it up to the second one, and that means that in the Gaia phase, the purple planets will be terraformed, and the second thing that happens is the power that is here is going to go back, and that means it's quicker for them to get them into the third bowl where they can start using them, of course. Also, they have, once they build the Planetary Institute, when they get the power back from the Gaia zone, they can, depending on how much power that is, they can get things here. So let's say they have 6 here, they can get, for 4 they can get a cube. And then for 2 more they can get 2 gold, or any combination they want. So that's really, really good. That is so good. So Terraner is a really strong faction, I think. And I think that's about it for them. I don't think they have that much specialty otherwise. I don't think so. So let's go over to the next one, which is Lantida. Oh, it says Lantids in my paper, but it says Lantida here. It's probably my rule book is not updated because it's the English one, I don't know. Anyway, these guys, they have the special ability here. They start with the cube, like most do. And the special ability, I have to read up on this because this is a bit tricky. It's when you take the build a mine action, which is the basic building, is the one you have down here. Used to be a dwelling in Terra Mystica. When you build one of those, you may build it on a planet colonized by an opponent. And that is so cool. So you can build on someone else's planet. You place your mine next to your opponent's structure. You don't have to pay for terraforming. You just move in, which is awesome. But you must still pay the mine's cost, of course. The mine counts as a normal mine in all ways except the following. This mine cannot be upgraded and it does not count for any effects that relate to how many planet types or Gaia planets you have colonized. So what this means is you can spread your mines really fast, really easy to the other players' planets. You don't have to, I mean, it's really cheap, right? You still have to have the range, but the thing is they can't be upgraded. So if you do that, you sort of limit yourself because then you're sitting there, you can't upgrade them. So it's a cool ability though. I haven't played with these. Once they, let's see, has anything else special about them? They also have the knowledge there. They have really few power to start off with, 0 and 4. Wow. I mean, the Terror has 4 plus 4, right? I think most of them have. I'm not sure why, but they are really low on power. Okay. And so the special ability, once they build the Planetary Institute, well, first of all, they only get to 4 power rotation. They don't get any new power, which is a downside to them. But each time they build a mine on a planet colonized by an opponent, they gain 2 knowledge. That's awesome as well. The green arrow indicates that you get something when you do something. So basically what they need to do is, I think they need to build, first of all, or they start on one of the starting planets. They need to go upgrade as fast as they can, get here, get this out, and then start building on the opponent's planets, because then they will generate power, which will let them, of course, I mean, you spend 4 power in this game to move up on one of those technology tracks, and that's just as great. So Lantida is interesting. Yeah, I think they're a bit tricky to play. You have to consider how many you send out to your opponent's planets, of course. You don't want to do too much. Okay, let's move on. So that was the blue board. Let's go to the green. I will start with Xenos. So Xenos, they are sort of what I could call. I could call them the nomads of Gaia Project. For speaking of Terra Mystica again, because they start on 1 on the green here, which means that they start with an extra cube, because the green part here is the where you get the cubes. They also start with 3 mines or 3 settlements, so they are the just like the nomads, and they place the 3rd one last. Oh, hey Wendy, how are you doing? Good to see someone's in. It's really late in Sweden, but I guess it's more like evening for you guys, right? And also they have the same thing there. So and once they build their Planetary Institute, then let's see. Okay, so they can form federations just with 6 in strength instead of 7. And they also get a what's it called? QIC cube. Get one of those as an income. That's kind of cool. Instead of getting power. But so they're a bit low on power. But then again, they can form alliances. Maybe they can go for doing at least 3 alliances then, or federations as it's actually called in this game. That's kind of cool. Otherwise, I don't think they have that much special. Alright, well, I've seen these played. Okay, so let's go to the Gleen. The Gleen is, they have this focus sort of, like, well, first of all, they don't start with a QAC cube. They have, if they gain a QAC cube, they gain that much ore instead. This is really weird. And once they have upgraded to this academy here, that stops being the thing for them. So they need to rush and get to that academy because they don't want to have that. I mean, they want to be able to generate the green cubes. Also, they have this thing here. To make a Gaia planet habitable, instead of the normal where you have to pay a green cube, right? You can see on their board, they have to spend an ore. That's strong. And also, when they build on the Gaia planet, they gain 2 points. So their focus is to build on the Gaia planets, of course. So I guess playing these would be good to do. One of the things you want to do is go for this, because that gives you more options. I mean, you can generate ore in other ways, right? To use that. But I think they need to do. They need to focus also. I mean, they start on the range track over here, so they're closer to getting to 2 range, which is good. But they need to focus on this as well, because they want to be able to send their ships out and all that, because then they can get a bunch of these Gaia planets going. So that's interesting. Glean, okay. Otherwise, I don't think they really have anything. I can't see anything that really pops out to me. I think they have, the different factions have some variations in costs and so on. Maybe how much money they generate. I'm not sure. Oh, they actually generate an ore there as well. Once they build a planetary institute. That's kind of interesting. But it's not that good. I mean, you generate ore anyway. So also, once they build that, they gain their own federation token. Which is kind of cool. And that's like they formed a federation with themselves or something. So they gain this one. So they gain an ore, a knowledge, and 2 gold. And they can use this as a key and so on. So that's interesting how that works out together. Yeah. Okay, so that's Glean and that's Xenos. So let's move on to the brown board, and we have Ambas. Ambas was called something else, I know, in the beta, but they have this really weird system. Well, first of all, they start with the cube and they start 1 step up on the range track. They don't have that much power, but they have this, their whole thing is this really weird action they can do. Because once they build a planetary institute, then as an action, once per round, they can swap the place of their planetary institute with one of their mines. I mean, in a way, it's sort of weird. But the thing is, by doing that, if you play it right, in the right way, you have this here and you have this over here, you can swap these, which means all of a sudden you change. I mean, this is a 3 in strength and this is a 1. So they can sort of, this one will jump around. They can it's easier for them to make federations that way, because they can get the strength in there. So I think they would sort of, they want to spread out a lot, make a lot of federations, I guess. And I guess also they really benefit from having, I mean, both the range, of course, that's a good thing for them. But also they want to really focus on sort of building mines and spreading out, I guess. So that's interesting. That's an interesting one. Okay, so Ambas. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here to talk about. So let's flip it over and we have Taklons. So Taklons, I don't know them all at all. The Brainstone. Oh yeah. By the way, no, I'm stupid. This is the one I played actually. I played this one. They just changed the name. It's just so confusing. So this one is special because they start with this Brainstone. There's only one in the whole game. It's really cool. And it starts over here. And this is like 1 power. So when they do 1 power rotation, they can move this one. They can choose which one they move. once it's here, it's worth 3 power. It's really cool. When I played this, I had really good use of this, and I actually won with them as well. So if you have this, you have 4. You can use them, and you can do one of the 4 actions over there. Really cool. So that's a really nice feature for them. And also, once they build a planetary institute, they do get some power rotation. They get a new power every round, and they also have this somewhat weird thing as well. Whenever you take power rotation because someone built next to you, just like in Terra Mystica, then someone built, and the range here for that is 2. So let's say I'm over here and I'm over there and someone builds here, then I get a power rotation, right? Whenever you get that, I mean, you can turn it down. If it's the other way around, then you need to lose points to get the power rotation. But if you accept that power rotation, then you also gain 1 power into the first bowl. So that's the way to get power back. And I had a lot of power when I played this, which meant that I could burn power here like that, get it down here, and also get that brainstone. I could rotate and do a lot of stuff regarding power. Really fun. Yeah, so that was the Taklons and the Ambas, and now we'll move on to, let's see, what's next? Hadsch Halla, is it? Yeah. So Hadsch Halla, the red board, my favorite color in the games, of course, but that's the only bad thing about this game with Terra Mystica is you don't get to choose your player color. That's the only downside. Okay, so Hadsch Halla has a special thing here. Well, they start with 1 cube, as many do, but the thing is, let's see, the thing is that, oh yeah, they start with 1 step on the, I don't know the names for this, I'm sorry for that, but this track here over here where you get income, the holding hands, or the handshake track, whatever you want to call it. So they don't have a really special ability, but they do have one thing here which is special for them. They start with an income of 3 coins, so they have that all the time, and that's really strong. They also have, oh yeah, I've seen this play, by the way. They also have that knowledge income, as I think maybe all of them have that. In the beta it wasn't like that, but I'm not sure. And I don't really like that it's over there, because it's so easy to miss, because you're looking here. Anyway, when they build a planetary institute, they get the power rotation, they get a new power, and they get the ability to spend gold to buy, just like free actions, just like these that anyone can do. But normally in the game, you can never buy stuff with money, but they can. It's really, really nice. So, I mean, they generate a lot of money as well. So these guys want to focus on having all the trading stations out, whatever they are calling now, I'm not sure. But like trading posts, they want to have them out on the map because they will generate a lot of power. They can use that to build these things, so they can get knowledge that way. I mean, that is just awesome. So this is one of the ones that I really want to play soon. I've seen it played and so on, but yeah, wow, I think you can do some really nice strategies with these guys. And also, I think, I mean, the reason they start on the income track there, I mean, you get a lot of money if you move up here. You get to start at 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So of course they want to be there, generating as much money as they possibly can. And then we flip it over and we'll go to the Swarm. Let's see. The Swarm is not in my book. I think it's because, yeah, they changed the names and so on. Okay, but I guess this is... Oh yeah, they have this really special thing. This is kind of cool though. This is a bit like the fire mages in Terra Mystica. They don't place mines when they start the game. Instead, they start with the Planetary Institute. So they have this out from the beginning. But I think that's the only thing they have. Yeah. They place that the big building on any red planet. They can only have 1 faction, also federation, during the whole game, but unlike other factions, you will be able to grow that federation to gain new federation tokens. After you have formed a federation, to take the form of federation action again, you must connect planets to that federation instead of forming a new one. The power values of structure of those planets must bring the total power value of that federation to at least 7x, where x is the number of federation tokens you own, plus 1. Not including number of federation tokens... Oh. All other rules performance, okay. So basically, oh yeah, they can get like multiple federations. That's crazy. They're really cool though. They have these special satellites as well. What do they do? Oh yeah, they can build a satellite. Okay, so once they build the planetary institute, and by the way, let's not miss this one. They have an income of QIC cubes. That's awesome to start off with. And this is, of course, I mean, even if the building is here, you start with that because you don't need to build a building. Well, they actually start with their building the planetary institute out anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, so the action they have here is to place a space station on an accessible space that does not contain a planet or another space station. Yeah, and they can connect these with satellites, and they count as having a power value of 1 for the Federation. It's not a structure, so placing one does not allow opponents to charge power. It doesn't count as a colonized planet, but it can be used as a starting point when determining accessibility of planet. Wow, this is so awesome. Oh, I want to play this guy. So with this action, they can place one of these satellites out. So they placed it out here. And that counts as a point. That's like having a mine for them regarding the federations. And remember, they want to build a lot of federations. Also, that counts as a starting point. So let's say you have 2 in range now. They can go 1, 2. So they can spread out using these. Oh, that's just so cool. These guys. I really want to play these guys. They look awesome, the swarm. I mean, just having the these really changed up the game. They are really different from the normal factions. Oh, hey, Jocelyn, how are you doing? Good to see you're awake at this late hour. I thought I was going to be alone here. And then we have, let's see, then we go into the. I don't have the colors right here either. Now we go into the orange ones. So we start off with, let's see, we start off with Gonion. Gonion is I think it's my favorite faction from the beta. And I think they balanced it a bit, but Gonion basically they start with the cube, like everyone does, it seems, now. They start with 1 on the digging track, as I would call it, from Terra Mystica, but the terraforming track, the brown one, where you go up, you get ore, which was worker earlier, and now also you get, it's like upgrading your shovel. It's cheaper to dig or to terraform planets and so on. Anyway, the really fun thing about Gonion is that they have this thing, when they build the Planetary Institute, and I actually have the orange one here, when they build it, well, they get the normal stuff, rotation and extra power, but they also get this, whenever, that's in German, but whatever you build, let's say this in the correct way. The first time you build a mine on each planet type, gain 3 knowledge. So it doesn't sound that huge, but it's really awesome. I mean, you start off on the orange, right? So you start off over here. Yeah. Where's the orange? Over there. Let's say you move over here. Well, you got 3 knowledge. And then you spread out again. You go over to a white one. Well, you get 3 knowledge. And then you go to a green, the Gaia. Well, you get 3 knowledge every time. And that means you can really work your way up fast on these tracks. And by doing that, you get a lot of benefits, of course. And I think you can play these in different ways, depending on which strategy you want to go for. But of course, you want to have range. You want to be able to spread out. Also, another nice combination with these guys, together with them, is these actions over here. So this one gives you a point per different planet type you're on, right? No, it's not that one, it's this one. It gives you 3 points and then 1 point for each planet type you're on. So what they want to do, I mean, they are going to be on a lot of different planet types. So they want to get those cubes and use them for this to get points. Also, they are really benefit from, let's see, well, it's not out in the basic, but in the advanced technologies over there, you have a bunch of those things where, well, sort of for every planet type you're on, you get this and that. Also, this one is awesome for them to get a bit later on. This is for every planet type you're on. When you get this technology tile, you get the knowledge. So these guys can really push it up with the knowledge, and the knowledge is strong in this game. You get points from being up on the track, you get a lot of benefits, and I love playing that way. I love those tracks. So that's Gonion, really cool guys, and let's go to the next one, that is Baltac. Baltac has this thing, they cannot get more range. It's just weird. You cannot advance in the navigation research area, even if you take the tech tile below it, yeah. As a free action though, you can move a Gaia former, the little ships. So you can move your ship as a free action from a space on your faction board, from the storage to your Gaia area to gain 1 QIC. So you move it from here over here, which is just weird. And the Gaia formers in your Gaia area are not available until the next Gaia phase, of course. Yeah, they come back. In the next Gaia phase, move any Gaia former in your Gaia area back to space. So they can just, I don't know, they can jump back and forth here and generate cubes, basically. And once you build the Planetary Institute, then you have this thing then all of a sudden you can get range. So you get a bad thing at the start, and then you get rid of it when you build this one. I don't know how good these guys are. I mean, it sounds so weird, but they have one special thing here. Like most of these guys, or maybe everyone except them, have the get 1 cube action when you build that institute. But instead they have gained $4. So yeah. Okay, so that's Baltac. I want to play this as well. I want to play all of them, of course. I will do that in time. But this game takes a full game night, so it's not that easy to get it on the table as I wish it were. Then we have the Firox. The Firox have nothing special about them. They only get that cube. But then instead they have, when they build the Planetary Institute, they get an action. And the action is that they can downgrade a research lab into a trading station. So they can take one of their research lab and turn it into a trading station. They can downgrade. When they do that, they advance 1 level in a research area of their choice. They move up on the tracks, as you can see here. That's that symbol. And that also counts as an upgrade to a trading station action for certain things, like you can have the round bonus where you get points for doing that, right? And then they can upgrade this as normal into the research station, and then they can do that back and forth. And why would you want to do that? Well, the thing is, this computer ship you see here, every time you upgrade into a research station, you get one of those technology tiles. So for these guys, it's really easy to just go back and forth here and just keep getting those tiles. They can probably get all of them in the game. So that's really cool. And I love those tiles as well. So yeah, these are interesting guys for sure, the Firox. Then we'll go to the Mad Androids. The Mad Androids, they start with a special action, which is they can move on the tracks. But there's some rules about it. Well, first of all, the position of your Planetary Institute and academics are swapped on your faction board. This is really weird. So you see, when you build a trade station, you get knowledge. When you build the research lab, you start making money. It's just really weird. And this is also swapped. Everything's swapped. So when they build this one, the institute. This is the Planetary Institute. When they build this one, let's see what happens. The power value of your structures on gray planets, as their home type, is increased by 1. So it's easier for them to make a federation, right? If they use their home, if they want to stay on their own planets, basically. It's like opposite of Gonion. Over here, I mean, they can go, and this is also weird. They can go like from here to the trade station and then up here, which is so weird because that's breaking the normal rules of the game. And they can generate a lot of knowledge that way. And the special action, I was going to continue on that one. It's once a round as an action, you can advance your lowest level token in a research area without paying knowledge. So basically, if they have, they can be really good at it. They're not going to be a little good at everything, because if they have something down here at the bottom and something else is up here, then they can move these guys on the bottom up, and once they get there, then they can start moving the other guys up. So they're sort of spreading out. They are sort of a little bit of everything, and just this switching of these is just so weird. I haven't played these, and I'm going to be so confused when I do. But that was the Mad Androids, and now we go to Nebula. So Nebula, and this is a final board. This is really dragging out. This is taking longer than I thought, but it doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. If you're interested, then you're probably still watching. So Nebula, they have the ability as a free action. They can move one power token from area 3 to their Gaia to gain 1 knowledge. Wow. Wow, that is amazing. So they can, that's a free action, so they can use the power here, 1 for 1 over here to gain knowledge. I mean, normally knowledge costs 4 rotation. So for them it only costs 1. That is amazing. Wow, Nebula. Yeah, 1 for 1. Oh wow, and that's a free action. Wow, I want to play these now. This is amazing. If I get these, I'm just going to focus on getting a lot of knowledge. A lot of power, so I can get... Yeah, that's so cool. And also, when they build a planetary institute... oh yeah, look at this. They, instead of knowledge here, they get power rotation. Because that's a way for them to get knowledge. So that's kind of cool. Special as well. And when they build the planetary institute, they get... let's see. They can spend power tokens in area 3 of the power cycle as if they were each 2 power. Wow. I'm just amazed by these guys. So not only do they... I mean, we have to simulate this. Here we go. I set up for a solo game, by the way. I'm going to play it solo once I'm done with this. But anyway, not on the camera though. I'm going to record that so you can see it afterwards. Here we go. So let's say they have some power here. And they got it over there, right? Like this or something. Once they build a planetary institute, this is 2 power, so they can send it there, get 2 knowledge. They can do it again, have 4 knowledge, move up a track. Wow. Oh, this is really cool stuff. Okay, so that's Nebula, really, really cool stuff. And that's what I usually say this about games. If you're in a game where you have, I mean, because I love games where you have, what's it called? I can't think of the word now, but like everyone has special player powers, unique special player powers to start off with and to gain during the game. When you're sitting down playing and you're looking at the other players and you're thinking, wow, I want to have their powers because they're so cool, they're so nice. That's a good game. That's how you tell if you're playing a good game, because that means that you feel like everybody has this cool power. You have as well, but I mean you're still looking at the other ones. So finally, it's Itar time. And so these guys used to be actually in the beta. I can tell you this. This is I don't know if it's a secret or whatever, but they used to be called Space Yetis because they are Yetis but in space. Really cool. Maybe that name didn't fit though, so they changed it to Itar. So Itar is each time they discard a power token from area 2 of their power cycle, like you know, you flip it out to move stuff down here. Then they place the discarded token in the Gaia area instead of the supply. So they can do this a lot, you know, swapping, throwing 2 out, 2 goes there, the 2 that goes out goes into the Gaia area, and they come back the next turn. Really cool. And they also have this power here when they build a planetary institute. Well, first of all, this is kind of cool as well. They have, to start off, they always get +1 power in here, which is awesome for their ability as well, of course. So yeah, that's just how nicely they made them. And once they build the planetary institute, then during the Gaia phase, you can discard 4 power tokens from your Gaia area to immediately gain a tech tile, standard or advanced. The rules for gaining a tech tile are explained. Yeah. Okay, this is also awesome. They do this, send them out there, so that the power, instead of going out of the game, they end up in the Gaia area. Then in the Gaia phase, once they build the planetary institute, instead of sending them down here, they discard 4 and they can take one of the tiles. You know, the technology tiles, or even the blue ones, the ones up there that I haven't put out yet. Really cool stuff. Yeah, so Itar are amazing as well. And that's just the mark of a great game, is when every faction is amazing. Okay, so that was 30 minutes, but I think we'll do a quick look over here at the... I was thinking we should go over the board here as well, and also then we are not going to do everything in this video, but I'll get back in another video soon, and we'll keep going through the game. We can also do the say in the second part we can go through all these tiles, what they do, all the scoring stuff. That's interesting as well. The passing tiles, the scorings, all that. We can also take a look at the Automa deck and all that. But let's just do a few minutes to talk about the whole technology board, because it's really interesting. So you have the actions that you had in Terra Mystica. In many ways it's the same. There's some new stuff here as well though. For instance, I mean, the whole knowledge is new. So here you can get knowledge for 7 power rotation. You can have 2, well this one we recognize, 2 shovels, basically 2 terraforms there. You can get the 2, what's it called, the ore, used to be workers, right? 7 cash, we recognize that one. We have 2 knowledge, that's a new one, and 1 terraform. And this is kind of cool. You can get 2 new power into your, bowl number 1. By rotating 3, so that's really nice one. We also have this one here, is spending 4 QIC cubes, which is kind of expensive. That's kind of hard to get that many. But then you can instantly just take one of these technology tiles, or even one of the blue ones that will be up here at the top. To take those, you do need to be, let's see, we'll do an example up here. Let's say this one is here. They are going out randomly, so they're different every game, which is really nice. You have to be on the 4th or 5th space in order to claim this one. If you're at the top though, to get to the top you also need to flip, like a key, you need to flip one of your Federation tiles beforehand to get that. When you take the blue one, you also need to flip a Federation tile, so you need to make Federations, alliances before you can do this. And one more requirement as well, this one doesn't have a frame. So in order to get it, you need to put it in a frame, you need to put it over something else that you have. But for instance, this one doesn't matter because this is just an instant reward when you took it. You don't have any use for this, you use it as a frame. So that's a little bit about that. And then the next action here, which is also kind of cool, is that you can reactivate this one here. You can reactivate one of your Federation tiles. So let's say you have the 12 pointer, you take this, you can get 12 points once more, and you spend 3 cubes to do it. Really cool. So that's why you really want those cubes as well. And this one, as I talked about earlier, 2 cubes, you get 3 points plus an extra point for every planet type you're on. You want to be on different planet types. The different colors and so on. And the Gaia is one of their own as well. Really cool stuff. And finally, let's just take a quick look at the different, these are going to be the same every game, but where they end up is different. And that matters, because if you get to choose one of these, let's say the usual way to do that is that you build one of these buildings with this ship involved, ship in the manner of computer ship, like they look, or microchip. Then you get to take one of these. If you take this one, you will move up on this track, and the same goes for everyone. But these 3 down here are special, because when you take this, you get to move on any track you want. You get to choose. So depending on where these end up in the shuffle in the beginning, the game gets a lot different. So that's interesting as well. And also on these tracks, you have the different sort of themes. You have this one where it's all about getting ore and also making it cheaper, like upgrading your shovel in Terra Mystica, making it cheaper to terraform planets and move around. This is for the range. You want to be able to move further away. Really cool stuff as well. The green one seems a bit boring because you're just getting cubes. But then again, we just talked about it. You can use cubes for a lot of fun stuff. So yeah. And then we have the purple one, which we talked about earlier, which is to send out your Gaia former, the little ship, to convert the purple planets into Gaia planets, the green ones. Then you have this is really interesting as well. This is a bit hard to keep track of at the beginning when you play this game, and you used to play in Terra Mystica, because you get income over here. On the orange track, you get income every round, and especially the one I really love is the blue one, where you get knowledge as income every round. But you have to remember at the beginning when you take your income, check those as well, because it's so easy to forget. So that's the technology board. There's more to say about it, but I think that's the main things about it. And I will be back in a second live video pretty soon, where we'll talk about the whole scoring board tiles here. We'll also talk a bit about these town tiles. It's Federation tiles now. It used to be towns in Terra Mystica. It's so hard to talk about this game without talking about Terra Mystica. I mean, it even says on the box, Gaia Project, Ein Terra Mystica Spiel. So it is Terra Mystica, but it's in space, and it's so much better in my opinion. So anyway, that's 40 minutes. I think we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're watching this afterwards, just tell me in the comment section if you have any questions about the game or the channel or anything else. So take care and have a great evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Bye bye.